Okay, hello guys. Uh, we are still in the process of adjusting. So as much as I can, I'm uploading videos so that I can get used to it and so that you can also get used to this process along the way. Um, okay, now I would like to talk about our discussions in the previous meetings before the outbreak of COVID-19 took place. We were talking about economic globalization. And in our discussions of economic globalization, uh, we have said that from the period of 1870 to 1913, the world has experienced a kind of global prosperity brought about by, of course, globalization. Okay, so countries began to open their borders, began to move away from protectionist policies, and allow the free trade of both goods and services. So as a result, you have a global economic prosperity from 1870 to 1913. And of course, in 1914, we have also discussed that World War I erupted. And of course, because of World War I, this economic integration that was experienced on many parts of the world has been halted. So, another way of saying it is that globalization has stopped. Economic globalization has stopped. The free trade of goods and services, the interconnectedness, the economic interconnectedness among the various nations was stopped. And this stoppage will extend to several more decades from 1914 to 1945, 1944. Because of course, another world war erupted because the world has failed to stop the happening of another major world war, World War II. But after World War II, the winners, the Allied powers, in 1944, met in Bretton Woods. So these are the well-known economists, economic planning advisors during that time. Okay, and one of the most prominent figures in the Bretton Woods Conference was John Maynard Keynes. So we have also discussed in our topics that under the Bretton Woods regime, spearheaded by guys like John Maynard Keynes, they have empowered the states. Okay, uh, they ushered the age of controlled capitalism. So, according to John Maynard Keynes, you have to strengthen the state in order to check the market, in order to protect the welfare of the people. So, according to John Maynard Keynes, the state has to spend a lot of things for public welfare, etc. Okay, and this will kickstart the economy. Now, for many years, again, the world was starting to enjoy economic prosperity. Little by little, economic globalization was revitalized. But there came the 1970s, where it seems that the Bretton Woods system of controlled capitalism is no longer working. And economists like guys like Milton Friedman and Frederick Hayek had a different idea. Actually, the contrary of the idea of John Maynard Keynes. So for both Hayek and Milton Friedman, the state should not interfere with the affairs of the market, because if the state do interfere, it's gonna cause more problems. Okay, it's gonna reduce economic growth. It won't help both the market and the society, and of course, it will be to the detriment of everyone, including the consumers, including the people. So you also have major world leaders like Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan. So Margaret Thatcher is from UK, the Prime Minister, and you have Ronald Reagan, the President of the United States. Um, they were convinced that they needed to abandon the idea ushered by the Bretton Woods system. Okay? So they believe that the age of controlled capitalism has come to an end. So therefore, they are now embracing the ideas of the free market, the logic of the free market, and this will be known as neoliberalism. Okay. Well, of course, again, from 1970s onwards, the world has begun to feel again the vibrance of the global economy. Okay, there were many countries that were developed, more goods were produced with cheaper prices, with better quality to the benefit of consumers and of course the business and even the governments. And yet, as I always come to say in class, in capitalism, in the free market, not everyone is going to win. There will always be winners and there will always be losers. So in the game of capitalism, in the game of the free market, there will always be losers. And of course, as well, what we have discussed in class, the losers, the majority of them will be the workers. Okay? Because they will be left unprotected, without benefits, etc. Okay? So as the state has weakened and as the markets were strengthened, more and more people coming from the elites, okay, rose into power. And of course, that includes the rise into power of the transnational corporations. And again, with the free market being empowered, a lot of people were marginalized. But mind you, there is economic prosperity. But the thing is, as economic prosperity rises, and so was poverty, and so was inequality. Okay? So these are the questions. These are the questions and the concepts and the ideas that we talked about in the previous weeks. So I want you to continue thinking about it, and I want you to continue reading chapter 3 in the required reading text that we have. We are still on economic globalization, and I'm gonna post some more videos regarding this. Thanks. Stay safe, everyone.